Sun is up, the drinks are hot, and now it's time for our first cup. Today, routine. So, I have a routine that's evolving about how I put this show together. And this morning, I ran into an unexpected benefit from that evolution. You see, every Sunday morning, I have a particular path that I walk, like outside in the real world, right? It's different from any other day of the week. It's designed to have just the right blend of like people and nature and solitude. It is the perfect precursor for recording First Cup. It gives me enough space to think. It gives me enough constraint to think. Both of those things are important when I'm planning what I want to talk about. And this morning, in those early hours, that routine really gave me a piece of insight that I don't know if I could have come across any other way. Because, when I do First Cup, right, I do what I've been doing for years with a lot of my stuff like this, right? I write about something real that's happening in the world, something that's contemporaneous, usually something that's happened to me or someone close to me. And this last week, there was there was a lot, right? Um, you know, there was locking myself out of my apartment at 5:30 in the morning during a literal once in a millennium downpour, rainfall here in LA County, right? And then, of course, after locking myself out an hour later, my building's fire alarm being shorted out by the rainwater and just going off. Let me tell you, meditation that morning was something else, right? There was that. There was meeting a guy named Tim. And I met Tim on a different day because he was screaming really loudly before the sun was up uh, in a place where I usually do meditation, right? Um, as I talked to him, I came to understand that he was homeless and he had some mental health issues that he was dealing with, and heard him say again, like, thank you for just talking to me like I'm a normal person, which admittedly was hard after the screaming, but um, seeing him kind of break down crying after I gave him a handshake and a hug too, right? It's like another instantiation of Carlos. Uh, or there was, a date that I went on, right? Where this woman, like, I don't think I've seen this amount of audacity before, where this woman admitted that my emotional intelligence intimidated her and she didn't know how to handle a man like that. And she was like actively gaslighting me in the conversation in ways that just like, I mean, I don't even know if like, I mean, this woman should run for office. Like that's just how disconnected from the conversation that we were having she was. Right. Like, and that's only three things. There's actually a lot more than that. But those are just a few of the things that were going on, right? And so this morning I'm walking along and I'm considering all this stuff. And I'm, testing openers and punchlines and summaries, and like nothing is hitting, right? Like nothing at all. None of it feels like, you know. Hmm. So I stop. I look at the horizon and it dawns on me. I just haven't processed the volume of stuff that had happened to me in the last week. Nothing's hitting because those experiences haven't congealed enough to really be carved into conversations, you know? Um, and that's when this particular commentary was born. And as this commentary came into being, my frustration with things not hitting just kind of faded, right? In fact, I actually felt slightly elated because my routine had not only led me to its intended outcome, this video, right? But it did so in a way that gave me insight into myself that I didn't even know that I needed. That insight was it's not that I was under a ton of like dire pressure. It's that I had disregarded processing a number of things that individually to me just seemed really benign, right? But when taken together, took up a lot more space in my head and my heart than I was aware of, right? It was a good reminder that when there's big stuff on the horizon, which admittedly, I can get focused on, right? Get excited about, get all the squirrels in the same direction. But like when there's big stuff on the horizon, the small stuff can have an outsized impact if you don't address it, right? And especially if you don't address it in a timely fashion. So after this recording is done, I'll do post-production on the video, I'll check my channel, I'll do all the, the normal things that the becoming normal things that I'm doing, right? And then I'm going to go process because this is a new week, right? And it deserves as much space as I can give it on its own terms, not through like the kind of unconscious hangover from the last 7 days, right? Um, and that's something that I'm really thankful for. It really was. This morning was just such an unexpected gift bestowed by this new and evolving routine. Doesn't hurt that the coffee's damn good today either. Now, uh, be sure to remember that no matter what you've heard or what I've said, death comes for us all, and a closed mouth never gets fed. We'll talk again soon.